Kurdistan is ecstatic. Kurdistan is happy. They passed the amendments, the parts, of the budget. You now have oil flowing from Kurdistan to Baghdad, and the price they accepted tells me there's a new exchange rate. How can all that be at 1310? Eventually the budget will reveal the new exchange rate. To discuss military and strategic files. A high-ranking American official will visit Baghdad soon. Quote, the American official will discuss the mechanism for restructuring the relationship between the United States of America, in addition to understandings in the areas of security and defense, along with files related to the U.S. Federal Reserve. I was told it most likely will be on a Saturday night into a Sunday morning, between 11 p.m. Est and 2 a.m. Est. That is when the banks are quietest around the world. The second best time is a Thursday afternoon. Iraq issues new banknotes with innovative security features for the visually impaired. Photos. I have to once again reinforce that the issuance of the visually impaired 30 notes is not an issue. As an investor, this is not something you should worry about. It is actually a good thing for our investment, not a negative impact. Elon Musk is not on a mission to downsize the federal government. He is working on discovering and elimination fraud and waste. USAID is a grifter's delight and has been used, since the Kennedy era, as a way to launder money. They give grants that are fraudulent. In no way will Iraq be affected by the closure of the front agency. After all, haven't we been inundated by statements of ending corruption in Iraq? This is a puff piece article of no consequence. It is merely an anti-Trump, TDS, article. Pay no attention, as it couldn't possibly have any bearing on the important and vital work being done in Iraq. Government advisor rules out Trump's oil cut plan, predicts appropriate price for Iraq. Quote, the financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Mazar Mohammed Saleh, ruled out the success of U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to reduce oil prices in global markets. Saleh believed that what President Trump launched to work to make America the first producer and exporter of crude oil in the world to reduce prices will collide with the cost of producing shale oil, which exposes American oil to loss unless American oil touches $80 per barrel to exceed the actual break-even point to recover costs and achieve profits. A delegation from the CBI will go to the USA in early April. Television just showed Iraq met with a high delegation from the USA and the CBI. A lot is happening. Television special saying Iraq's $100 billion in reserves backs Iraq's stability and credibility in the world. I do not see it put in the Gazette tomorrow, but there is a good chance it will be in there on Saturday. If they're going to be paying salaries, if they're going to be allowing oil to move, change is coming. We can all feel they're going to have to adjust their exchange rate. If they were going to expose 1310, they would have done it a long time ago. They would have never waited this long. They wouldn't have hid it, and they would have made the budget tables public. Are they waiting for a special time? It sure looks like it. A digital transformation is upon them, and they're going to have an interconnection with a digital platform to move their currency. I think Iraq is probably not going to be the only one that's going to be involved in this. After voting on amending the budget law, the House of Representatives is waiting for the government to send the 2025 budget tables for approval, but until now we do not know when those tables will arrive, but this matter must be expedited. The banks all received a memo about the rates, my banker has confirmed. Mark Z. You are not the first person I have heard that from. Some of my contacts said they cannot share, but they are seeing the rates now. I firmly believe the rates will be acceptable and we will be tickled with them. I think we are going to see a very interesting week. This is why this program is the necessary final step in the revaluation process. This is about gaining the trust, globally, without which Iraq will go nowhere and do nothing. Much hinges on the success and seriousness with which Iraq approaches and completes this training. Eliminating corruption is the key that will unlock the door to the RV. In order for a currency to be revalued and accepted internationally, it needs a robust financial system that can support international transactions. As the Iraq financial system becomes more appealing to foreign investors, it drives up the demand for such a stable currency. This shows something newshound guru Copperoni has harped on relentlessly, but now we know how that is accomplished. There are only a handful of elite countries that have such a high rating. Basra Governor Asad al-Idani announced on Wednesday the launch of the Palm City project, one of the largest residential and development projects in Iraq. Al-Idani said during a press conference followed by Shafaq news agency, the Palm City extends over an area of 54 nature reserves in addition to 34 dunams, and it is a sustainable, environmentally friendly city, indicating that the city was designed to include 120,000 housing units, universities, and industrial areas, with nature reserves to reduce carbon emissions and improve the quality of life. Al-Idani added, the project, which was planned for more than 10 years, has obtained the necessary approvals, and a complete consensus has been reached between 3 leading construction companies, as investment licenses will be granted soon. Al-Idani pointed out that the local government supports investors, including providing security and the necessary infrastructure. According to the statement, the project is being implemented by Egyptian, Chinese and Gulf companies, including Al Safi Group, Mountain View and the China Railway Corporation, which expressed during the meeting their commitment to implementing the project according to the highest standards, noting that Basra will be the jewel of the Gulf through this huge investment. The state administration coalition called for an emergency meeting next Saturday at the government palace in the capital, Baghdad, to discuss a group of important issues. An informed source told Shafaq news agency that the most important of these issues is the recent escalation against the federal court after it issued the state order to stop the implementation of the 3 controversial laws. The Iraqi political arena has witnessed rapid development since yesterday, Tuesday, after the federal court issued a judicial order to stop the implementation of the general amnesty laws, amend the personal status law, and return the properties to their owners in Kirkuk. This decision prompted the Sunni forces to escalate their stance against the court, as official work was suspended in 3 Sunni provinces in protest against the decision, amid hints of other escalatory steps such as withdrawing from parliament and the government, and organizing protest demonstrations, the beginnings of which began in the city of Mosul today. In contrast, the Coordination Framework announced its support for the court's procedures, stressing its constitutional right to monitor the laws. It is noteworthy that this decision came after a number of representatives filed an appeal regarding the parliament's vote on the laws collectively, while observers are awaiting a final decision from the court in the coming weeks.